You found your way to Whispers of Crimes, a quiet corner where the shadows of the past are gently told. Here, we speak of real crimes and mysteries, not to shock or scare, but to wonder, to reflect, and maybe to help you fall asleep. So close your eyes, let your thoughts slow down, and come with me into tonight's case. Sometimes the people we trust the most are the ones capable of the deepest betrayal. In 2015, the arrest of a high society media executive sent shockwaves through India. A young woman named Sheena Bora had been missing for 3 years. Her disappearance was quietly brushed off until a jailed driver unearthed a murder. A twisted family web, and a woman named Indrani Mukerjea at the center of it all. This isn't just a murder case. It's a portrait of ambition, identity, and how far someone will go to protect a lie. This is the story of Indrani Mukerjea, her daughter Sheena Bora, and a love story with Mike Rhea, known publicly as Rahul Mukerjea, that nearly exposed everything. Chapter 1. Who is Indrani Mukerjea? To understand this story, we need to understand the woman at its heart, Indrani Mukerjea. She was a self-made star of corporate India. Glamorous, driven, and intelligent, she climbed the social ladder with unmatched speed. Born in Assam, Indrani reinvented herself in Mumbai's elite circles. She married Peter Mukerjea, one of India's top media barons, and co-founded Inks Media, a channel that helped shape Indian television in the 2000s. To friends and colleagues, she was charismatic. To tabloids, she was mysterious. But to her children, Sheena and Mikhail, she was a ghost mother. You see, Indrani had left her 2 children with her parents in Guwahati while she built a new life in Mumbai. When she returned for them, she didn't bring them home. She brought back a lie. Sheena and Mikhail weren't introduced as her children. Sheena was passed off as her sister, Mikhail as her younger brother. She buried her past and built a new identity, one carefully curated for power and prestige. But lies like these can only hold for so long. As Sheena, bright, bold, and full of questions, was about to become a threat. Chapter 2. Love and Secrets. Sheena meets Mike. In 2009, Sheena Bora moved to Mumbai. With her charm and intellect, she found work at Inks Media, working directly under her aunt Indrani. It was there she met Mike Rhea, better known to the public as Rahul Mukerjea, Peter's son from a previous marriage. Mike was smitten. So was Sheena. Their love story was real, one of the few authentic things in a world of deception. But from Indrani's point of view, it was a problem, a ticking time bomb. If Sheena and Mike married, people would start asking questions. How could 2 siblings or half-siblings be romantically involved? The truth about Sheena's parentage would come out. Indrani's carefully protected secret would collapse. Indrani reacted with anger and manipulation. She warned Mike to stay away. She discouraged Sheena from seeing him. But the 2 continued in secret, clinging to a relationship that became both a refuge and a threat. By 2012, Sheena was ready to assert herself. She wanted recognition, she wanted freedom, and she wanted Indrani to stop pretending. That's when everything changed. Chapter 3. The Disappearance. On April 24th, 2012, Sheena told her office she was leaving early. She said she was going to meet her mother. That was the last anyone saw of her. No dramatic headlines, no public panic, just silence. Indrani quickly spun a story. Sheena had gone to the US for higher studies. Friends received texts. Her resignation letter was emailed. Mike was told it was over and to move on. But Mike didn't buy it. He kept calling, texting, visiting Sheena's old flat. He even confronted Indrani, who coldly repeated the same script. Sheena had moved on, and so should he. Even Peter Mukerjea, the media tycoon, accepted Indrani's explanation. No missing persons report, no investigation. It was as if Sheena had vanished into thin air, that behind the silence was something far darker. What no one knew was that Sheena was already dead. Chapter 4. The driver breaks the silence. In 2015, Mumbai police arrested Sheena Bora, Indrani's driver, for illegal possession of a firearm. It should have been routine. Instead, it blew the lid off a 3-year-old secret. Under pressure, Rhea began to talk, and what he said shocked even hardened investigators. He claimed he had helped Indrani and her ex-husband, Sanjeev Khanna, murder Sheena. He described everything in detail, how they drugged Sheena in the car, strangled her with a dupatta, and stuffed her body into a suitcase. They drove to a forest in Raigad, doused the suitcase in petrol, and set it ablaze. Rhea even led the police to the very spot. There, they found human remains, a skull bones. Forensic experts confirmed it was Sheena Bora. The case exploded. Indrani was arrested, then Sanjeev Khanna, and finally Peter Mukerjea. What started as a small gun charge had turned into one of the most sensational murder cases in Indian history. Chapter 5. The motive, control, identity, and fear. Why would a mother kill her own daughter? That question haunted the nation. The prosecution suggested that Indrani feared Sheena would expose her lie, that she was not her sister, but her daughter. This revelation could destroy Indrani's social status, complicate inheritance, and perhaps jeopardize financial assets. Sheena had reportedly started demanding what was rightfully hers, both in identity and in money, and she wasn't afraid anymore. She wanted to marry Mike. She wanted the truth. For Indrani, who had spent years curating her public image, this was unacceptable. She didn't just want to stop Sheena. She wanted to erase her. The murder wasn't just about a relationship. It was about control, about maintaining the illusion she had built from nothing. Indrani's life was a house of cards, and Sheena, by telling the truth, threatened to blow it all away. Chapter 6. The legal labyrinth after the arrest. The case entered the Indian legal system and slowed to a crawl. Indrani was held in Bakola jail, a women's prison in Mumbai, where she remained for nearly 7 years. She maintained her innocence, calling the case a political conspiracy. Peter Mukerjea was arrested in 2015 and spent over a year in jail before being granted bail. He claimed he had no idea Sheena was Indrani's daughter. The courtroom drama played out in headlines and whispers. Witnesses testified. Forensic experts presented their findings. Rahul Mukherjee Mike spoke about his desperate attempts to locate Sheena and the coldness with which Indrani brushed him off. But justice moves slowly in India. The case was repeatedly delayed. New angles emerged, including financial fraud allegations tied to Inks Media. In 2022, Indrani was released on bail, still awaiting trial. She even wrote a book in jail, calling it her spiritual journey. But for the families involved, especially Sheena's brother Mikhail, and for Mike, the pain never left. Chapter 7. Legacy of a lie. Sheena Bora would have turned 38 in 2025. Instead, she's a name attached to betrayal, lies, and a brutal end no daughter deserves. Her story is one of erasure of a life hidden, then taken, to protect a truth that should never have been a secret. Indrani walks free today, but her trial is far from over. Peter Mukerjea has faded from the public eye. Sanjeev Khanna remains behind bars, and Mike Rhea continues to live with the memory of a woman he loved and the silence that followed her disappearance. The Sheena Bora case is no longer just about who killed her. It's about how power shields the guilty, how silence can be deadlier than a weapon, and how even the closest relationships can be poisoned by secrets. In the end, Sheena's story reminds us of one chilling truth. Sometimes the mask we wear becomes the monster we become. That's all for tonight's story. Another thread in the web of true crime, quietly unraveling as the night goes on. If you're still with me, thanks for listening. And if sleep has already taken you, may your dreams be peaceful and your mind at ease. I'll be here next time by the fire with another story waiting to be told. Good night, and don't forget to lock your doors.